Hey, okay, so this is a little bit more specific. I've been catching up on some of my comic reading, and I finally got into reading the new Nova. Uh, if you're not into comics or Marvel or anything like that, just don't watch this. I don't want to bother explaining. Okay. So I started reading the new Nova. Now, I'm a huge fan of Richard Rider. Huge fan of the old Nova, who is now dead. Yes, I know that means very little in comics today. Stay with me. We have um, this new Nova, Sam Alexander. He's a kid, and he's so far 2 issues incredibly annoying. So annoying. He he does nothing but complain and moan and oh, life sucks and my dad's a drunk and now my dad's dead, but he was a Nova and now and he's dead, and hell with him, and hell with you, mom, who's actually a really nice lady, and hell with everybody, everybody, and hell with Rocket Raccoon and Gamera, who come and try and train me, and that's all he does. That's all he's done in 2 issues. It's incredibly annoying. And people are like, "Oh, I love Richard Rider, especially after Annihilation when he was all badass and he was a leader and this and that." And I trust me, I am right there with you. But here's the problem. And I've been racking my brain trying to figure out why they would create this character in the place of such an amazing rewrite of Richard Rider that went on to really make Annihilation and everything after it really what it was. And to see where they're coming from, you have to break it down into archetypes. Richard Rider was a Captain America archetype with a little bit of older Spider-Man and a few other things. Um, he was a hero. He was a leader. He was a soldier. He had what it took when it needed to be done. He was always at it. He really good power set, really fun, really interesting. Um, and they had to kill him. And I say that understanding it now. They had to kill him. The reason they had to kill him and create this new Nova, Sam Alexander, in his place, is because that archetype is going to a different character. That archetype is going to Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, aka leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is sort of like the Avengers in space. I know the Avengers are going to space. Let's not talk about that. The Avengers in space, the Guardians of the Galaxy. You can't have a leader archetype without a team. And when they try to create other Novas around it, because the Nova Corps is done, and he was trying to rebuild them, it wasn't working. And not that it wasn't working in the story, it wasn't working in a creative fashion, because these characters that they were creating, these other Novas, were boring and no one cared. And they were half faceless, almost literally, right? So the problem becomes, now that we've decided to take the hero archetype, what are we left with with Nova? Well, all other things being equal, you are left with Spider-Man. You are left with that's the archetype you're left with for Nova. That's the Nova that has to exist. Spider-Man in space. And you can't have an older Spider-Man, because how did this character become this older, this wise? Who is this person? You really start to see where this is going, because there are no kids in space. There are no kid characters in any of Marvel Cosmic. So sorry about the light. So taking Nova to really young, new character, not knowing anything, and giving him fantastic power, and making him wrestle with that is something that had to happen. It's unfortunate, however, that he is so incredibly grating on the senses. And I'm really hoping by issue 3 or 4 that will change. I'm hoping that the story sort of fleshes out because I want Nova to work. I know Guardians of the Galaxy will work because Guardians are solid. I love it. Love it. Nova, I want to work. I want it to work. I want Sam Alexander to work. And for those who have read AVX, there are little bits of Nova in there, especially with the Infinite if you read the digital comics. That, you know, here's Sam Alexander not being so annoying, not having so much page time, but not being annoying. So that makes you think that at some point, by the time the Nova story reaches AVX, which has to be quick, or otherwise it's going to get weird, he's going to evolve into a not so disgusting little person. You know? Do I hate that this had to happen? Yeah. Do I understand that it had to happen? Yeah. Because the alternative is having two great leaders in the cosmic, and that really doesn't work. Because they'll inevitably have to fight, and then you're going to have AVX in space. I don't know. It doesn't feel. You have to have a really trimmed down, solid structure of characters if you're going to build up Marvel Cosmic, which is something I definitely want to see. But it's got to happen with a really solid plan with no deviation. Stick to the archetypes. Don't mess with the fan base when they say something, hopefully, and it'll work. I hope Jeff and any of the other guys that are on it really take heed of what they're trying to accomplish. Do I wish Abnett and Lanning would come back, the DNA team, and help build up Sam Alexander? Yeah, that'd be great. Do I see that happening? Not really. Yeah. So, I'd love to hear your responses. Comment section down below. You've been on YouTube before, right? Right? Okay. No? Well, there's a comment section down below. I'm holding my iPhone. Alright, you're getting bored. Okay. Bye.